I remember when he was staying there, in the corner. I remember his face, scraggled hair, like he just didn't care. Eyes forever lost to the floors, walls and ceilings, his mouth in a curious but quiet curve as he was introduced to us. I remember walking past him, sounds of sniffling nostrils and the constant tap, tap, tap of his fingers against the table. I remember sitting in class, seeing his daydreams slowly flowing out of his head as the holy teacher asked him a question. All he could do was listen to the following condescension. I remember the absence of words between us. I remember shaking his hand, my hand met by nothing more than a cold and moist skeleton. I remember contemplating whether or not to ask him to come and join in. I remember him not coming to join in. I remember when it started. They converged on him like a pack of wolves, preparing to pounce on their prey. I remember when I was prey. It was on the bus to school. Using his size to his advantage, I was cornered. Even though I was in the year above him, he was 2 years older than me, wanting nothing more than to make me feel small. I remember meeting him once again, seeing he'd changed. I realised that this predator had once been someone else's target before I was his. I remember just watching him, knowing he'd been struggling with his own predators for a couple of weeks now. I remember the day they came crashing down on him, using words as weapons, not truly comprehending how cruel they could be, because what they didn't realise is that words have power. They sliced through him like a sharp sword through soft straw, banging out because he was different, because he wasn't like everyone else. Well, I do not remember ever walking into a room where two people were not different and where that was ever a bad thing. I remember how he could smell the pure delight in his happiness, the way his face would light up when we started talking about heavy machinery and fast cars. I remember his drawings, the smell of pencil shavings and how real the pictures seemed. I remember thinking how completely different the new kid and I were. I remember realising how similar we actually were. I remember the teacher telling us something terribly tragic had happened. I remember I'd never even got to use his name. I remember I wish I could tell Jack that his differences what made him special, what made us better. I remember wishing I got to tell him something, anything. I remember when Jack's parents came to school, they looked so dejected, trying without success to prevent the taste of tears that were rolling down their faces. I remember wondering whether I could have done something. I remember when he wasn't standing there in the corner. Peace out.